Okay, so we've just built our chatbot. This video, I want to go through just sort of an overview of the other bits and pieces of the data feed. Well, it's not an overview, this is like the more nitty-gritty details, questions that you may have, and I'll try and answer those in this video. Now, I've just actually deleted the chatbot that we created because I was trying to make a tutorial. But this is the chatbot area, which is pretty obvious, I hope. The number here displays the amount of data that chatbot is currently using to reference. It's currently referencing 13 bits of data in its responses. The more data that you add to it, obviously it will be able to read across all of these documents. So you can view that here. Here is the language that chatbot is using or responding in. You can change that in settings. I'll show you how to do that. I'll do that in just a second. If you click this button here, so we'll do it on Biomed, it'll take us directly to the chatbot and it'll show us the most recent chats that we've had. So, what was I going to say? I have to change the language. So if you want to change the language of your chatbot, you have to come to the settings section, chatbot settings. Make sure that you've selected the chatbot that you want, right? Otherwise, you're going to change the setting of the wrong one. Very important. So Biomed, I'm going to change this to be written in Dutch. So now it will respond in Dutch. Now it will respond in English if I write to it in English. If I come back to the data feed, it's now using Dutch. It will respond in English if I talk to it in English, but if I talk to it in Dutch and it sets English, sometimes it's just not quite sure which language to respond in. So this is just if you want it to respond in Dutch all the time, when you talk to it in Dutch, change it to Dutch. That's OpenAI, how their model is trained. It's trained obviously in English. So we go back to settings. I'll just put that back. Biomed, because I don't speak Dutch. Where's English? Save those changes. Come back to the data feed. So if you want to delete a chatbot, it's very simple. Just literally click on the data. Let's say we're going to delete these three. Select delete. We can now delete those chatbots. Now, the thing it's telling us here, right, we've got the name of the chatbot that we're deleting, and once you delete a chatbot, it's gone, right? You can rebuild it, doesn't take long to rebuild, but it's gone. But it's telling us that we're also going to lose the chat history, and that'll make sense when you go through the chat module, which I'll film next. But basically, all data that you have had with that chatbot will be gone. So just so you know. What else? If you want to delete the PDFs or your data within the data feed, just select the chatbot. This as well. It's exactly the same. You can click the three buttons if you want, or just click the main thing. And then at the bottom down here, if you click delete, it's going to ask for a confirmation. So you're never just going to instantly delete the data. It will always confirm that you want to do it. Now, it will not reset your usage limits. I'll go through usage limits in a second. The name of the PDF, the word count, will obviously be deleted. Now, limits. Common question I get a lot is, my account has got, this one's got, 15,000 message limits. What is a message for starters? A message is every single time that you send a phrase or a question to your chatbot that you've created personally. So it is a global, it is a global figure across all of your chatbots. So 15,000 words total every single month. At the end of the month, your message limit will reset. So it's not 15,000 messages per chatbot. Now, if you need more limits, just send me an email at help@ChatIQ.ai, or send me a message in the school community, or send me a message on literally any of my social medias, and I will try and get back to you. We can obviously create any custom plan that you want that works for your business. We can give you a word limit of like 20 million. It may slow the app down a little bit. We can give you as many chatbots as you want. We can give you whatever you need. We can even customize the chatbot, specifically build you a version of ChatIQ for your own company. We've only had one person ask for that so far, and that is a big job. So that's quite a high ticket thing if you're looking for that, but we can do all of this if you need that. So that's just the limits. Now, at the end of the month, your chatbot usage and your word usage will not refresh. It will remain the same. Think of it as a Google Drive folder, right? If I want to free up my word limit, if I'm on the basic plan, I think it's 250,000 words. So I'm getting close. So the easiest way to free up that is to decide, okay, well, I'm going to delete this data. I'm going to free up 1,700 words, right? So I'm on 214,000. If I delete this, it'll refresh the page, and we'll see our limits have dropped down to about 212,000. once it's loaded. 205,000. So we can remove data and free up limits. Same thing goes with the chatbots. If we decide that we're at 5 chatbots, we want to delete one, we can delete one, we'll be down to 4, but it won't refresh at the end of the month. Now, the next thing I want to go through is tagging within the data feed. You'll notice every now and again when I click on one of these, there's this big, I keep moving myself, there's this big slide out drawer. Now, this is the data info. This is literally just bits of information about the chatbot that might be useful to you, but also it allows you to change the tag of that data. So, for example, every now and again, I have found myself in the position where, like a silly little man that I am, I've come into my tags and I've said, I'm going to delete this tag, right? Which then means if I come back to my data feed and I scroll down here, all of these now no longer have a tag, which means if I come into the filter, right, I can't actually find, if I've got a lot of data in here, it's very hard for me to find it if I can't remember the name. So if I want to actually now change the tag, and you can do this on this one, for example, it's got a tag already, you can update the tag, or you can give it a new tag. So for example here, the tag info, there isn't anything, right? This is just like a placeholder showing there's nothing there. I can choose the new tag, so I can give it, I don't know, whatever, we'll pick that one. But let's say, for example, I decide that I don't want to give it any of these, like I was just about to do. I can say, look, I want a new tag, stuff. We can add that back in, select that tag, and click save. You can see here that's now updated. Deselect that, reselect the next one, click on this one, stuff, save, and make sure obviously we've only selected one. Right. And then stuff, and then save. So that is how you update your tags on the data. So if you find you've got the wrong one, then it's very easy to update your tags. And finally, the filters that we have for our data feed. So at the top, we can obviously search for data. I think I've actually deleted Winnie the Pooh now. Yes. So we'll do the lost history. Let's do that again. The lost, there you go. Right, so you can search for the data as well. If you want to, so for example, actually I'll show you on another account. So this is the actual account so any chatbot that you interact with ChatIQ, this is the account that I'm using. So the interface, this interface here, that is this chatbot, right? So it's all been built in here. But what I want to show you is how you can actually use the filters quite effectively, because you can filter multiple things at once. Now you'll notice everything in here is labeled ChatIQ something. But maybe, for example, I only want to look for ChatIQ stuff that is actually filtered by a URL. You can see we've got all of the ChatIQ URLs here. You can also select just all the PDFs, and it'll show us all the PDFs. You can go back to all of it, and then, for example, just the text. So we've got a lot of text files in this account. So just so you know, the design of these here, green is text. This is just supposed to signify text. URLs, obviously that's the link, PDFs, PDF. And then you can show all of the data. You can also just look at specific ones. So interface, I can now see, right? This is an example of how to use your tags effectively. All of these bits of data here are tagged with the interface tag. So I know that the 11 bits of data in this interface are using this tag, right? So if I delete one of these, I know that it's coming out of this one. Now the reason I've done that, if I just click out, bring that to all, is because for this affiliate one, I want to have some extra information, right? Just messing around at the moment, but I can have extra information in this chatbot, which I may not want to have included in this chatbot. So if I'm tagging it, I can tell which bits of data I want to use and what sort of data it is and whether I want to have it in the same chatbot or not. So you can make sure chatbots can't use certain bits of data, so you can get quite advanced with this. I think that is everything you need to know about the data feed. Like I say, if you've got any questions or problems at all, you can always ask the interface, or you can send a message to the community group, and I'll get back to you as well.